Hi all, in this lecture we will be seeing about biological amplifiers. What is a biological amplifier? The quality of the biosignal acquisition in a medical instrument is purely dependent upon the medical preamplifier design. Let us discuss about the different amplifiers used for biosignal acquisition. The amplifiers are operational amplifier, isolation amplifier, instrumentation amplifier, bridge amplifier, line driving amplifier, current amplifier, and the chopper amplifier. We have already discussed about operation amplifier, isolation amplifier, differential amplifier, and many more amplifiers we have studied in our previous subjects like linear integrated circuit. So now let us discuss in detail about the particular amplifiers used for biosignals. Before looking on to the types of amplifiers, we need to know how a biomedical amplifier should be designed. So, it has to satisfy certain conditions. First, the voltage gain of the amplifier should be more than 100 decibel. Hence, it can easily amplify the biosignal properly to the drive of the recorder. The next condition is the frequency response need to be as low as possible to get the required frequency of the particular biosignal. The next one is the gain. The gain and frequency response should be uniform throughout the required bandwidth. The next is drift. The drift should be, there need to be no drift in the amplifier. The leakage current should not be there because the biosignal should be transferred from the electrode to the input. Therefore, the input impedance and the output impedance should be as small as much. Because when the input impedance of the amplifier is more than 100 megaohm in the case of ECG and 100 megaohm in the case of EEG preamplifiers. The last condition is that the common mode rejection ratio should be more than 80 decibel because it is easy to eliminate the interference caused in the main. Therefore, the biosignal amplifier should be at least a differential amplifier. All these biosignal amplifiers are designed with operational amplifier as the basic unit. In biological amplifiers, first we are going to see about ECG isolation amplifier. So, now let us see the blocks involved in the same. We have many blocks like lead selector, amplifiers, modulator, high voltage protection, driver, and the demodulators. So, let us now see in detail about the same. The signals from different leads are given to the low pass filter having a cutoff frequency about 10 kHz. The filtering reduces the interference caused by electrosurgery and radio frequency emission. This filter circuit is followed by the high voltage and over voltage protection circuit. What does this circuit will do? This circuit can withstand large voltages during defibrillation. Now the signals are fed into the lead selector switch which is used to derive the required lead configuration, and the output of the lead selector is given to a DC amplifier. This DC amplifier will receive a DC voltage of 1 millivolt through a push button for calibration process. The primary of an isolated low capacitance power transformer is connected with 100 kHz oscillator. The secondary of the transformer along with the rectifier and filter circuits is used to obtain isolated power supply of plus or minus 6 volt for operating the devices in the isolated portion of the circuit. This synchronous modulator then modulates the ECG signal from a DC amplifier at a rate of 100 kHz in a linear manner. Another transformer is used here. What does the purpose of the another transformer here? This transformer delivers the output from the driver of the modulator to the synchronous demodulator. As everyone knows, as a communication engineer, we need a modulator with a demodulator to get our required output. The output of demodulator is used as the input of the power amplifier. The perfect shielding of the isolated preamplifier circuit in a case enables to achieve higher CMRR. CMRR is common mode rejection ratio. The line frequency interference is eliminated by introducing a notch filter at 50 Hz after the power amplifier. The available isolation amplifiers have a CMRR of 115 decibels with a common mode impedance as 10 to power 11 ohms. The medical preamplifier circuit is also known as instrumentation amplifier. This we consist of differential amplifier which amplifies the differential signal and rejects the common mode signal. It has a very high input impedance. From the diagram, we will be able to see three operational amplifiers. The first two amplifiers are working at non-inverting mode with their inverting terminals not grounded. The feedback loops are connected with the inverting terminals. The third one is the operational amplifier which acts as the differential amplifier by getting these two inputs. By this configuration, we will be able to get high stability, high fidelity, high CMRR with high input impedance. By means of this virtual ground, the inverting terminal of operational amplifier 1 is fed by the voltage V1 through R1. The application of common mode signal at the input will lead to zero voltage drop across the variable resistor R1. Therefore, common mode voltage gain is unity regardless of the resistor network values. Thus, most of the common mode signals will be rejected by the third operational amplifier. Here, the inverting terminal of operational amplifier 2 is again fed by a voltage V1 through R1. V0 dash is the output of the first operational amplifier and V0 double dash is the output of the second operational amplifier. Hence, it is easy to calculate our gain calculation based on the differential amplifier. Therefore, the net gain achieved will be equal to 1 plus 2AB which is achieved and it is easily adjusted without disturbing the circuit symmetry. At time, the gain factor will be changing accordingly. The chopper amplifier is used in biomedical measurement because the biosignals have the frequency range from DC to few hundred Hz. The chopper amplifiers are classified in the form of mechanical choppers and non-mechanical choppers. The chopper is used to convert the DC or a low frequency signal into a high frequency signal. Then, this modulated high frequency signal is amplified by the conventional AC amplifier. What is a mechanical chopper amplifier? This chopper amplifier is used in which has no drift. Now, let us see the diagram here for the circuit of mechanical chopper amplifier. The chopper has S1. It is an electromagnetically operated switch or relay. This one is going to play a major role in this circuit. It connects alternatively the input terminal of the AC amplifier A to the reference terminal Q, which is usually connected to ground. When this amplifier input terminal is connected with Q, it is short circuited and the input voltage becomes 0. When the chopper S1 is open, the amplifier receives the signal voltage from P. When this happens, the input to the amplifier consists of an AC voltage varying from 0 to the value of the input voltage. By this process, a steady DC or slowly varying signal is chopped into a train of square wave pulses having a frequency equal to the rate of the chopper. After amplification of the chopped signal, it is rectified using the diode which is given as D. The rectified signal is then filtered and amplified into a DC or slowly varying signal and it is obtained at the output terminal M and N. From this response time, the chopper amplifier is governed by the chopping or the sampling rate. The chopping rate should be at least 10 times greater than the highest frequency component of the signal for good fidelity. Using mechanical choppers, we cannot achieve high chopping rates due to inertia. Now let us see the next type of chopper amplifier, which is the non-mechanical chopper amplifier. Here we use the photoconductors or the photodiodes, which is used for the modulation and the demodulation process. It acts as a switch by means of an incident light. From the diagram, we will be able to see the oscillator which drives two neon bulbs into illumination on alternate half cycles of oscillation. We have two bulbs as I told already. The first bulb gives flash of light on photoconductors PC1 and PC2, which are respectively connected at the input and output. The second neon bulb gives the flash of light on photoconductors PC3 and PC4. At the input, we have low-level DC input. Whenever light falls on PC1, its resistance decreases and input capacitor charges. When there is no light on PC1, the light is on PC3. The input flows through PC3. Thus, the alternative incident light on PC1 and PC3, we have a square wave across the capacitor whose amplitude is proportional to input and its frequency is equal to the frequency of the oscillator. The square wave voltage acts as an input for AC amplifier and an amplified square wave voltage is obtained at the output of amplifier. Thus, when these two photoconductors PC2 and PC4 are in the amplifier output circuit, it requires the DC signal by the demodulating action as we have already discussed. The output capacitor becomes charged to the peak of the output voltage. Then this DC output voltage is passed through a low pass filter to remove any ripples and finally amplified DC output is obtained. The transition time between the high and low resistance states of photoconductor limits the chopping rate up to a few hundred Hz, even though the oscillator can deliver high frequency driving voltage. Hope every one of you have understood what is the different types of amplifiers used in biosignal acquisition and in the process of biosignal measurement.